Alrighty, what do we have today? This looks interesting. So the first thing that jumps out to me is there's no village for a bit. Eventually the peasant line will give you disciple and teacher. Disciple is itself a village, and then teacher you can put the plus action token on any card you want. You can make a cantrip into a village, you can make a terminal card into a non-terminal, and so on. So we'll have actions eventually, but not in the short term. Trashing here, just salvager. Or also there's Necromancer as a trasher, because there's 3 zombies in the trash and Necromancer can play them. One of which can, where are they? Did I skip past them? There they are. Zombie Mason can trash the top card of your deck. So we got some thinning, but notably they're both terminal. And we said we are village limited. Draw, there's Hunter, there's Menagerie, which you can help to activate with Mill, and there is, I think that's it until we get Teacher, which you could put the plus card token on something in theory. Plus buy, market, and peasant. So we got a bit of everything. It looks like it's not going to be super explosive or anything. Once disciples and teachers show up, it'll become a strong kingdom. Peasant is really strong eventually. Anyways, oh, there's also Way of the Horse. Are there any shenanigans with that here? Yes, there are. Way of the Horse, I'd say in the average case is not super strong or anything. Like you can turn one of your actions into horse to save a turn, or you can horse all your cards in the last turn when it doesn't matter whether you're losing them. But in general, it's something you use very aggressively most of the time. But it's one of those cards that has like weird rules interactions and occasionally is much stronger than it usually is. And one example is present here, which is Necromancer. If you play Necromancer as Way of the Horse, it does the same thing as any other old card. The Necromancer draws 2 cards and then goes away. But you can play Necromancer and use it to play one of the zombies, which are already in the trash. And then you can play those zombies as Way of the Horse. And so you get the 2 cards in action, and the zombies try to return themselves to their pile. They don't have a pile, they don't go anywhere. And so functionally it means Necromancer is just a laboratory, as long as you play the zombies as Way of the Horse. At least with the constraint of there's only 3 zombies in the trash, so your first 3 Necromancers can be labs, and then your 4th Necromancer does nothing unless you put additional actions in the trash. So that's nifty. $4 lab does sound pretty good. How to open? Well, certainly the $3 buy is peasant. In general, if peasant's in the kingdom, you open it because you want to play it early and often. The $4 buy, less obvious. The bot has said salvager. Salvager seems fine. You're trashing your cards. I think I like Necromancer better. Like comparing Zombie Mason to Salvager, I think Salvager is the better trasher. But the Necromancer is a lot more flexible because if you line it up in the same hand as Peasant, you can just play it as a laboratory, which, oh no, I only got a laboratory. And I find it in the opposite hand from Peasant, then you can trash with it. Mill would also not be terrible for purposes of hitting 5. Mill into Hunter, for example, is a lot of cycling. And then the Mill itself also kind of synergizes with Hunter because it's an action and a victory card. So Hunter could pick it up for either of those purposes. So I don't hate Mill or Salvager, but I think Necromancer is the answer. Okay. We're taking a slight gamble here. There's a 1 in 7 chance that I kill my peasant right here. I think it's worth it. 2 7 chance I hit an estate, which would be phenomenal. Also a slight chance that I hit a copper, or a big chance I hit a copper, which is not bad. All right, yeah, we got the okay line. And not sure what I'm buying here. My next hand is most likely to be 4 money with a peasant in it, presuming I'm bottom deck a copper. No, I have 2 estates down there. It's probably gonna be 3 money. That's not super inspiring. I was considering Menagerie, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I buy a Mill turn 4, and then there's a decent chance of it activating, but that's not that likely. Maybe Harbinger has a chance to top deck some nice stuff. A second peasant also seems pretty reasonable. I think Harbinger seems fine. I did hit 3. Let's take a second peasant. You want multiples going up the line. One of them can get you the teacher, and then additional peasants can become disciples, which are also very strong cards. Okay, well, they collided. Peasant did not last. Oh wow. So Harbinger is not a strong card, just because most of the time you don't even have a discard pile for it to top deck stuff from. So usually it's just a nothing buy, but occasionally it does something nice. And here we see one of the nice things it can do, which is I'm going to get to top deck my Fugitive early and play it. I could also just top deck an estate and trash it with Zombie Mason, which is really appealing. I think Fugitive has to be the answer, though. Discard. Nice clean shuffle. I need plus buy, so market or salvager. I guess salvager, right? I'm gonna have terminal space now. Here we see Harbinger doing normal Harbinger things, which is to say nothing. What's the bot doing? Where's the bot on its peasant? The bot just at peasant? I can't even see because the log doesn't work. What do I do with the Necromancer? So my bottom 8 cards, I have 3 coppers, 2 estates, a hunter, a disciple, and a salvager. It's not super likely. I could play this as a laboratory. Hope to draw on. I want to line my disciple up with an action card. I worry about just drawing only the disciple. Would be kind of sad. I could trash, which has a 5/8 chance of doing a good thing. 3/8 chance of trashing an action card. Honestly, I wouldn't hate killing the hunter or the salvager. Like, that's not a big deal. Killing the disciple would be kind of sad. I could still actually play the disciple because it'd be in the trash and the necromancer could play it. The downside of killing the disciple is my opponent can now play it too. They have to buy a necromancer. Actually, that makes me want to play Zombie Mason just because I'm curious if I hit the disciple, would the bot have the presence of mind to pick up a necromancer and use it? I don't know. Like, any human player would certainly notice that, I would think. We'll see what the bot knows. Ha ha! I shouldn't be happy about that, but now we get to see how the bot performs with a disciple in the trash. So that was a disaster, of course. I'll take another hunter and a peasant. All of a sudden, this necromancer is looking pretty hot. Play normally, trash. Play normally, trash. And 7 peasant and another hunter. He was so close to being a teacher too. Bot seems really... It's about just a soldier? Playing peasant for the rest of the time turn 7, so there's something that's gone seriously wrong over there. The bot not open peasant? I know it bought salvager turn 1 and then I stopped paying attention. Oh no. I got attacked. Okay, yeah, the bot's dumb. I'm sorry. There is a disciple in the trash. You have to buy a necromancer. That is not optional. It's just a rule of Dominion. The disciple in the trash, you buy a necromancer. That's in the rule book, actually. Alright, well, I have too many salvagers. I'd rather have the peasant. Hello, necromancer. Maybe I should horse one of those. Let me reconsider this. My other necromancer, sorry, not my other necromancer, my other salvager is the bottom card of my deck. I wouldn't mind playing that. Yeah, I'm gonna horse it actually. I have another, whatchamacallit, another peasant. I could have played that peasant normally, but then it wouldn't advance. I'd rather horse it to get the plus action and then play one of these peasants. because these peasants can be advanced up the line. Okie dokie. I make fun of the bot, but I'm actually on peasant because of, you know, the situation. Anyways, what am I doing here? I still have plus buy. I probably need payload, so conspirator seems in order. Still just have the one necromancer, so I don't think I can afford to add more terminals. Maybe just to mark it. Oh, I should also have more necromancers than I do. Not exactly sure when I would have gotten one, but like, gotta keep in mind, they are laboratories. Necromancer just is a lab in this kingdom. And my only necromancer is currently occupied doing disciple things. So I'm not taking any advantage of the laboratory effect. That was a good 2 cards to draw off the top. Okay, let's fix my dearth of necromancers. So the bot has a bunch of hunters and a salvager and a fugitive. Okay. I think it's just too slow to disciple. Disciple is super important. Teacher also to a lesser extent. Which, keep in mind, it could already have a disciple. All it has to do is buy a necromancer. Necromancer is a disciple. Come on, Heartbot. You can do it. They just bought more hunters. Hunters not the move, I'm sorry. I don't care about this Harbinger. I do want to make sure I don't dud. Let's do the laboratory thing. This little icon means play the card as a way instead of the normal way. Pun not intended. Just a happy afterthought. Hunter will find me my market. I don't want to mason anything here. I've only got 2 terminal actions. Or I only have 2 actions and I have 2 terminals. I want to play with it already. Okie dokie. Fugitive is going to become another disciple. I can support more terminals now. I'll have to take a peasant. One downside of the trash disciple over a normal disciple is once you have 2 disciples, you usually want to go disciple and then 2 actions rather than just playing disciple on an action, because you get an extra village effect out of that. That's not as easy to do here because you have to lead with the. I guess it doesn't make much of a difference after all. I think it's harder to do, but it actually not. Like you can't disciple the trash disciple, but the trash disciple can play a normal disciple. Which I think is in general how the paranormal works, right? Like things beyond the grave can interact with you, but you can't go mess with them. So I guess if nothing else, that's on theme. Anyways, I should buy some cards now. Already got a peasant. It's even less hunter. Despite buy. Bot seems to want them. More peasants, I don't know. I don't exactly know where this deck is going. All the cards look nice. I want to gain a bunch of them. Hey, good job, bot. You played disciple. The bot, its play seems to be getting slower, which if I recall in the last kingdom, I think, I'm surmising that means it might think that it's very behind, which I think it would be correct about. But when it's got no path to victory, it's hard to make a decision, I think, because nothing is clearly better than anything else. Like, do I take the menagerie or do I take the hunter? All roads lead to Rome, and Rome sucks. to really think hard about whether it wanted to play its hunter or not. Come on, bot. You can do this. Yeah, play your cards. Trash that copper. Will the bot get a teacher? I don't know. The bot really wants markets. That doesn't seem very good to me. Like, you want some number of markets for plus buy, but the bot's already got a market and a salvager. And once you've got a bunch of actions, Conspirator is just a much more efficient source of money. The one thing the markets do is they do threaten piling things. The bot also did not advance its Disciple into Teacher. Interesting. That, by the way, I think is just like a totally sensible play. There are plenty of kingdoms where Disciple is just a better card than Teacher is. I'm not sure if this is one of them or if that was the right call in this particular circumstance. But there's plenty of cases where I'm like, I could put a terminal do-nothing action in my deck in the form of Teacher that will pay off in 2 turns. Or I could just keep the like super mega gainer throne in my kingdom, or in my deck, which will do something immediately next turn. And that next turn benefit of Disciple just outweighs the long-term benefit of Teacher. Okie dokie. I'm not sure exactly what I want my Disciples to hit. Probably Market and or Conspirator, so I'll play the Necromancer first, hoping to find the other Disciple. There it is. Okie dokie. Disciple. If I gain 2 markets, am I threatening to pile out at all? Probably not, right? I would need like 10 buys and a bunch of money. That doesn't sound plausible, but I went against the markets anyway. We'll see what happens. Alright, well, let's think about this. I'm actually quite close. Maybe this is a pile out after all. I play the Necromancer, a Zombie Mason, kill Necromancer, gain a market. That leaves me needing 16, 21, 21, and 9 buys. I have that. At least the buys. Do I have the money? 10, 14, 16. Did I play any attack cards? I don't think I have any attacks in my deck now. 10, 14, 16, 17, 18. Does Salvager improve that at all? I could salvage a soldier that doesn't do anything. What if I Necromancer, trash Necromancer into market, horse a peasant, draw the market, salvage the market that I just gained? That sounds like it would get me there, right? So I gain the market, I lose 1 peasant, I trash the market, I have 10, 5 for the market, that's 15, this moves me to 19, 21, 22. Yeah, I think that wins by 1 more than necessary. But why win by 1 more than necessary when you can win by exactly as much as necessary? Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it. This is exactly the right amount of money because I horsed the soldier instead of the peasant. Unfortunately, I have 1 more buy than I need. So I don't think there's any land that gets me to like precisely the amount I needed to pile out in both buys and money. But I think this is the comparatively more stylish of the two. Yeah, the bot was just too slow to Disciple, and more importantly, it missed that I put the Disciple in the trash. Like, that is a pretty egregious mistake. Also, why the hell is there gold in its deck? There's no earthly way buying a gold could ever make any sense in this kingdom. How do I feel about my deck? So obviously, we took a calculated gamble with the Disciple trash. I don't know if that was the right call or the wrong call, but we hit the one bad option out of 8 in the Russian roulette. Aside from that, I still like the Necromancer opening. I feel like I probably needed more Necromancers in my deck sooner. I'm not exactly sure when I would have gained them, but it seems like an important card here, and I would have been happy to have more of them. But yeah, general game plan: play a bunch of the draw cards, get your disciples going. That's the kingdom.